Welcome back, everyone, to WDEF News 12 this morning. Time now to talk gardening. If you have any questions, give Tim Holcomb a call. Sorry about that. 756-1212. 756-1212 is the number to call. And good morning to you, Tim. Good to have you here with us.
Good morning, Amy.
And I know we've already got some folks on the line, so let's jump right into the calls. Joining us now is Robin. Good morning, Robin. What's your question? I think we have Robin. I guess not. We can move on to Sherry. How about Sherry? Good morning, Sherry. What's your question? Okay, no, maybe we do have Robin, actually. Robin, are you with us? Okay, I'm going to try Sherry now. Sherry, good morning. What's your question for Tim?
Good morning. I was wanting to find out, I have a plant that has the like big snowballs that are blue and pink.
Yes, ma'am.
And what I was wanting to find out, I'm plant sitting, and the lady brought it to me, and the flowers were already dead on it or dying, and the leaves are kind of getting brittle and like they're dying. And I mean, it looks like the plant's dying, and I don't know what to do, and I'm afraid I've lost it. I don't know, but is there any way of reviving it or anything?
Well, it's either gotten way too dry or way too wet and the roots have rotted, but most likely it's gotten way too dry at some point if the leaves have gotten crispy. Cut off those faded blooms. Make sure you give it adequate water. If you'll give it some liquid food, that'll speed up the recovery process, and it should be fine.
All right, thank you. 756-1212, the number to call, 756-1212 to speak with Tim Holcomb. Joining us now on the phone is Nikki. Good morning, Nikki. What's your question?
Good morning. It's about coneflowers. Will they grow in full sun, or after?
Well, they prefer full sun. Coneflowers are very hardy in the heat and full sun. They'll bloom all summer. As the blooms fade, clip them off. It'll keep putting out new blooms all summer long, but it sure loves the heat. Do very well.
Okay, so unlike people, it loves the heat.
It does love the heat.
Joining us now on the phone is Pat. Good morning, Pat. What's your question?
Yes, my apple trees, it's got, I think there's rust spots all over
Yes,
them.
ma'am.
And I was wondering what I could do for that.
Okay, unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do. Now, keep them sprayed with a good fruit tree spray. They'll take care of normal insects and diseases. But most likely what you have is cedar apple rust, and it goes between cedar trees and apple trees. It's mostly cosmetic. There's not much you can do about it. It will get on the apples, but they're still okay to eat. They just have the spots on them. But it should be fine. Just keep them well fed and watered and enjoy the apples.
All right, 756-1212, the number to call, 756-1212. And joining us now is Brenda. Good morning, Brenda. What's your question for Tim?
Yes, I'd like to know what kind of plants you have that will take direct sun. I get a lot of sun all day long.
Okay. Well, certainly there's a lot of tropicals that do very well. The mandevillas, the hibiscus. If you want other annuals like geraniums and dragonwing begonias, lantana, the petunias like the wave and the million bells. They're just a whole host of plants that will do very well in the hot, full sun all summer.
We also do have another caller on the line now. Marilyn is joining us now. Good morning, Marilyn.
Good morning.
What's your question?
My question is, everywhere I put decent soil down, I get cheap soil, and it just takes over. And I don't want to use something to kill it, chemicals to kill it. So how do I get rid of it besides, because it's multiplying and it's just taking over every decent garden I put in.
Now, what kind of weed is it? What is it?
It's called sheep sorrel,
okay.
Is what I understand.
It is very tough. Well, if you're not going to use anything to spray and kill it, you're just going to have to keep digging it up. Ultimately, if you'll put down a weed and grass preventer, it'll prevent more from coming up, and it is easy to spray, and the sprays are very safe. You can use them and even replant within just a few days.
Okay, joining us now is Tony. Good morning, Tony. What's your question?
Yes, I was wanting to either reroot a snowball bush or else maybe dig part of it up and transplant it.
Okay.
What time of year would be the best time to do that?
Well, if you're going to take rooting cuttings, you need to do it when it has young, tender growth on it. It should have some of those now, and dip that in rooting powder and put it in moist soil, and it should root pretty well. Another thing you can do is take a low-lying branch and put a rock on it, and that branch will eventually take root, and then you can cut it free from the parent plant and move it wherever you'd like it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We're out of time now.
Thank
but
you.
of course, if you didn't get the chance to call in and ask Tim Holcomb your question, you could always visit him at the Holcomb Garden Center. They're at 5513 Highway 153 in Hickson, Tennessee. Give them a call at 877-8782. They're also located at 2705 Battlefield Parkway in Fort O, 706-861-4769. Also visit them on the web at www.holcombgc.com. And this weekend, I understand you're going to want folks to drop by because they're doing a bonus bucks weekend starting Father's Day weekend, bringing all those bonus bucks, and you get to get some Holcomb's goods at a discounted price. That's always
Folks
good
have been
news.
collecting them all spring. Gather them up, and starting next Friday is the time to use them.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
again for being here. And everyone, please stay with us. We've got more WDEF News 12 this morning heading your way.